let's talk about your red pill journey. I know we're kind of, I'm excited to talk about farming and stuff because,
oh yeah,
I mean, that's the whole reason. Your comments, you were like, dude, I really want to talk to you about farming. And I was like, farming. And I like looked at your page and I'm like, all right, this guy knows what he's doing. I want to talk to this guy. So we'll get into it. But it turns out you actually have your own red pill journey. I don't know if it's similar to mine. I know that you said you watched my show, so you're probably familiar with my red pill journey. It was rather public over the 2020 year. So tell me about your red pill journey. Like what you told me you were a default Democrat. Let's start there.
100%, 100%. And you can't really blame people for being sort of default, DDs, default Democrats, right?
Yeah.
It's osmosis. Osmosis has a power to it. And if everything in the media is telling you something, it's kind of hard not to just let that seep in of like, because I didn't have a strong opinion one way or the other before. I was just like, well, he seems like Trump seems like a bad guy. I don't like that. I just don't like him. Someone would ask me why, and I'd be like, I don't know. I just don't. It is what
that sounds like every single Trump hater that I know. Well, why do you not like him? I just because he's racist.
I don't know. It's his policies, I guess. I'm not sure.
Prove it. The news told me he was.
I know. So that's where I was. Same place a lot of people are in. Same place a lot of people are still in, right? But one thing, it only takes one lie that's really obvious to really break it, to shatter it, right? And it's going to be different. The lie that they catch you in is going to be different per person. And for me, it was the Chinese travel ban. I'm a logical guy. Most people are pretty logical.
Yep.
And when they went after him for that, I just basically said, wait, no, that just makes sense. Why are they calling him? We were not banning travel already. Like in November of 2019, we were aware that there was some kind of virus going on. I was like, that should be we should have locked that up like Madagascar does in pandemic, right? So,
and it's even worse too, because they went up and above and beyond too. Nancy Pelosi was like, go out and hug a Chinese person.
That was a little much. De
Blasio was like, go down to Chinatown and Chinese people are great. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, but we should still stop the travel if there's a pandemic that's going from China.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're going to build a big, beautiful wall around Chinatown. That was never on the docket. It was never China. So it was just this like complete disruption or this complete like jog from one thing to another. And it was enough to break my brain and then make me question things and like look into it. So just like that, I stopped believing everything I was just told. The osmosis stopped working. It was like a spell. It was like a wake up. I know, right? It's different for everybody, right? So this CRT stuff that's going on right now, that's going to be a big red pill for a lot of parents. But once you get the red pill, you never go back.
It's true.
You can't go back.
I mean, would you choose? I mean, I think about Cypher, right, from the Matrix, and he's like, man, if they could just plug me back in and I can know that I can forget that this steak here is just some computer program, I would be so happy. It's like, who would do that? Like, once you know the truth, why would you ever go back to that?
No, man, I think it happens every day though. Like people have lies that do actually activate them and then they just put it right back to sleep. And I think it's a social thing.
Yeah.
They're going to give up their whole social structure, their support structure, their job, all that stuff. So it's easier to just not believe. So right now, I'm not going to say like the other side's always wrong or anything like that, but right now I'm definitely seeing a bifurcation of people who are skeptics and people who are on our side, right? Like even Glenn Greenwald is like on our side. It's ridiculous. That guy was a leftist before. Like people are getting canceled for just saying things that they think, and I think it's going to bite them in the butt at the end. At the end of it, I think them canceling so many people that are just speaking their minds.
Yeah, I want it to get to the point where people are finally like, no, and stand up and be like, I'm not going to accept this anymore. I'm not going to be fearful of losing my job, losing my family structure. Because like when I came, I would say when I became red pilled, I found my family situation, like I became so much more connected to all my family. It turns out all of my family are conservatives. Like everyone was like, yay, Adam finally came around. And I'm like, really? Am I the last one? I'm I'm the one who.
Oh man, it sounds like the end of that movie with Gun Kata and all that stuff. With the it was like
Which
this. I can't remember the name of it, but it was the movie that has Gun Kata, which is like this kung fu style with guns. It had Sean Bean in it, and but anyways, at the end of it, it's like a 1984 type of thing. At the end of it, the guy snaps out of it, and his whole family was already snapped out of it. It was like it was the dumbest ending ever, but.
I mean, they're all like that. Equilibrium with Christian Bale.
Oh, that's
the same thing.
No, that's the one. That's exactly the movie.
Is that who? That's what made me think of it because his family at the end, the kids were like, "Yeah, Dad."
I was like, "That is a Deus Ex Machina."
We stopped taking them a long time ago, and it's like, I see that.
Oh man,
a good movie though. Good movie. I like that one.
That was entertaining. It was good. It was fun. It was
frightening though how close to all of those kind of movies are. I mean, especially like V for Vendetta. It's like there's a lot of creepy similarities with all those types of movies and what's going on right now. You're not allowed to speak out a line. You're not allowed to believe something different from the narrative that we're telling everyone to believe. And it's like, whoa, yeah, we are. We are allowed to think differently than you. Hello.
There's a major psychological effect, I think, that happens when you start having to suppress the truth in yourself. Like you start self-censoring. And I think it's responsible for a lot of the mental health problems that you're going to start to see in the next few years. If people just aren't allowed to speak their minds.
Because you know what? Hold on. You just basically brought up a good point, though, with mental health issues. It's like one of the biggest issues with that is these people are championing this having mental health issues. They're saying like it's becoming part of their ideology or like their badge of honor. Like I don't care if you're in the LGBTQ community, anybody. It's just like when you make it your everything, instead of like being proud of like being a guitar player, having a successful YouTube show. I mean, I think my show is rather successful, but for me it is, but like, this is what I'm proud of. I was a skater. I was a model. Like those are the things, like my sexual orientation, like that's not, I don't talk about that. Like, that's not something that is your business. Anyone else's business is my business. It's like, I don't put it to the forefront. And it's what they're doing also with this mental health issues. They're saying like, I'm proud of being, what do they call it? Neurodivergent. They're calling it now, they made a name for it. And it's like, I mean, okay, you're proud of that? I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you want to go get some help? I mean,
well, it's a little bit like the fat acceptance thing too. I mean, people start becoming proud of what they are and not who they are. And I think people need to remember that who they are isn't the body that they're in necessarily. It's
It's who you are inside, the character that you are. Being overweight, being obese is unhealthy. Period. You don't want to be obese. It's not healthy for you. Period.
And one thing that's actually kind of funny is when I got red pilled, I lost a ton of weight after that. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Oh, so the journey started. The lie it shattered the window.
Shattered the dam. The dam was broken open. Water's flowing.
It's broken open, and you have a lot to do with that actually. Because so why do people love influencers so much right now? Right? It's because we need to empathize to understand things. So you going through your red pill moment, that was actually like me watching someone go through the same thought patterns as me. It's like we were in the same class in school. Yeah. We're all learning the same things together. We're experiencing it together. And being able to empathize with someone else who's going through it kind of allowed me to think through it. Because engineers are not the most social people in the world, right? So I didn't actually have anybody in my personal life that was going through this that I knew of. Maybe I should have talked to him or something, but it helped put the words on it, and it also helped me not be too afraid. And because once you sort of see the truth, it is easy to retreat back. But seeing you just not even retreat back, not even a little bit, it's like seeing you run with a flag.
Well, I was sitting across the desk from Tim, who doesn't let you relent. He was very good at poking and prodding, and he kind of forced me to take the spotlight in a sense. It's his own fault, really.
But
it's the same thing that you said. It's like, once I started listening to Trump, once I started paying attention, I'm like, oh, Trump's saying that and doing that. That's smart. And then the media is like, he's a xenophobe. I'm like, what about that is xenophobic? And then I saw like all of the Democratic people that were my friends, my I don't even want to say, I can't say family because none of my families were succumbing to this, but it was like the people that on the internet, Twitter, like in half of the comments, whatever, were saying like, yeah, he's xenophobic for this. And it's like, what, you guys believe that? Like, it's not. Can you explain why you think it is? And they're like, no, because they said it is. It's xenophobic. Well, because he closed the thing to China, like blah, 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 blah. It's like, you know, and then I started doing some digging. So I kind of like, you lived vicariously through me essentially. Because it was like the same time for me too. Because it was around that when that broke, when he said, I'm going to close the borders down. Because at the time, I didn't know Trump at all. At all. I didn't know.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't know politics.
I had no interest. So probably a lot of people of my age, I'm about 32 years old. A lot of people my age probably tapped out when Ron Paul like ran. Because after that, I was like, I got to go to college. I got a life to live. And I was basically politically asleep since then. Yeah. Right. This one woke me up because now it's affecting my personal life, like the lockdowns, all this stuff. But once you get red pilled, right, you start going back through other things people said. Like one thing is the Muslim travel ban so he closed down travel to a bunch of countries that haven't had a lot.
Specific countries, not Muslims.
So right? I'm from Indonesia, right? So here's my Indonesia street cred.
I love this.
Wild Kopi. This isn't even the farmed Kopi Luwak. This is wild.
That's wild. So they went out and like picked up poop in the wild to harvest it.
Yeah, no.
That's the expensive stuff.
Yeah, it's the excuse I give my dad when I don't try it.
It's too expensive. I want to keep it to smell. Like, what do you do with that? Anyway, you're in Indonesia. Yeah.
So I'm from like my family's from Indonesia. My dad, I look like a big guy. My dad married a 6 foot tall lady in Kansas, but he's like Yoda. Okay. He's like baby Yoda, and he's about 5'3", I think.
Oh, okay.
He's real small. He's great. He's adorable. Okay. Anyways, but there's more Muslims in Indonesia than anywhere else in the world. Like there's a city of 14 million, Jakarta. 14 million. It's almost all Muslims. Like my family's one of the few Christians that are from Indonesia. That's the reason why we left. Actually, it's because of persecution and also just better life here in America, where some of the good immigrants try to integrate. But
nice.
Yeah, it's a big mindset change too, because the red pilling. The fact that, I'm an engineer, so I think hyper logically. So if you want to wrap your head around like how an engineer thinks, just watch a lot of Thomas Sowell.
I love exactly Thomas Sowell.